Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and today we're going to be playing around with some new mods because this pack just updated, and we're also going to get a little bit lasery. So I hope you guys are ready. So this pack has updated, and boy am I excited for this update. So resourceful bees were added back, so we now have the resourceful bees, which is another way to generate resources like later on down the road. Now, at the moment, I still don't know how to obtain those bees just yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But quests have also been updated. There's a lot of new quests and stuff as well. So right here, we get now random rewards, which is actually kind of a nice thing. I personally like random rewards. You can see we just got dirt, and these would be really great starting out early on, like getting different saplings and things like that. Yeah, that would definitely be a really cool thing to get. Look at that. We just got dark oak saplings, cobblestone, like an acacia sapling. Like all of that stuff is good, I would think, early on. Right now, not so much, but that's because we don't really need it. That nice little experience reward, though, is nice. So right now we have 99 levels, as you might be able to see, but there's still some quests that are being worked on. This update added even more quests. So if quests are something that you enjoy, you're in the right pack. This pack is I really like the fact that it's being updated like this and is including more of the mods. I believe this update was a massive update. And there's a lot of stuff to go over. I mean, I wish I could go over everything, but I probably am going to miss a lot of stuff. Some building mods was added in here. Definitely seen some really nice building mods. This mod is interesting. Creative wireless transmitters. And I think this is for refined storage. Wireless transmitters that are creative, that are basically unlimited distance. I hope that's what this is. Oh, it definitely is. It's refined storage. Creative wireless transmitters. That's what I wanted. I wanted a transmitter that would go longer than the range that is set up for refined storage. Oh, that was so needed. I'm so glad to see that in there. Also, the blueprint mod. This mod is a single block, but do not mistake this for a single block. This thing is ridiculous. As you can see, it is expensive, which is there's a reason why it is expensive. This mod, once we get into it, which we will be going for this block, this thing right here is way more than it seems. It allows me to basically remove all cables and from everything, and to be able to automate it with a nice GUI. It is really good, but it is a very small little block here. So just do not overlook it. Do not overlook it. This is a very powerful block. But that's just, one of the mods that were added. There's so many in here. Let's go over just a couple here. This one, for example, the easy villagers. We're going to go over that here in a second. That was one of the mods that were added. As you can see, there's the furniture mod that I was talking about. Nature's Aura was added in, which is kind of nice. And there was several others. I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head because I was just looking. Of course, Resourceful Bees was one of them. There's of course a bunch of like little small mods that are hidden here and there. Simply Lights was added back, and oh, I'm so glad Simply Lights is back. By the way, I wanted to mention this. The Sophisticated Backpacks mod, if you have this mob farm, you're going to have some interesting things happen in your mob farm due to that mod, I believe. Because every time something weird has happened, like Dis 13 starts playing randomly, it's because it's a mob that was in here that had that backpack on from that mod. So I have a feeling there's some sneaky stuff that has been added in from the Sophisticated Backpacks mod as far as mobs go. And they're really powerful mobs, by the way. They're like fully like decked out with like extended potions and stuff like that. Of course, last update, we got the time in the bottle, which is super nice. Also, the tiny redstone mod is really cool. I do want to get into this eventually. Do not overlook this mod. It is really, really neat. As you can make like tiny little redstone machines and stuff like in a single block, which is really, really cool. And last but not least, let's talk about this mod as well. The Mahoy to Sky mod is in here. And yes, you may correct me on how I say that, but I will forever call it Mahoy to Sky. Forever. That's just how I'm going to pronounce it. So you're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. Just going to have to deal with it. But I'm glad to see this back in here because this is a really powerful mod as well with some really cool mechanics. So let's go ahead and jump into that villager mod that I was talking about, right? We have the incubator, which raises a baby villager into an adult villager. We have iron farm, which you can place a villager in here. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. And it'll produce about an iron 1 minute, 1 iron every minute. We have the converter, which I'm assuming you put the villager in here, it will convert it into a zombified version, and then you put the items that you would normally splash on the mob to heal it. So that's really cool. You can lower your costs on enchants, or lower your costs on emeralds for this, which is really nice. An actual breeder. So we can actually get rid of our breeder, and we can just use this block. That is one thing that I definitely want to make. So I'm going to be setting that up sooner than later. Let's see. Let's go ahead and build this thing because we'll use that to kind of demonstrate how this works. So definitely want to grab the breeder. Then we have a farmer, which is just a single block farm that is just going to farm things for you. And then you also have an auto trader and then a trader. So the trader is going to be manual. And then the auto trader is going to allow trade automations, which is really nice based on a cooldown. This is definitely worth getting into. And then just the regular trade, I'm going to go ahead and make that for right now. The auto trader is going to work similar to this, but you can select your trades, right? All right, let's talk about how this actually functions and how we're going to utilize this. Because it's really, really cool. I'm going to place this over here. I'm going to place my breeder over here as well. Right next to the water. Why not? And then I'm going to show you how to get the villagers. Because all you have to do, no need for the mob imprisonment tool. You just shift, right click on the villager, and it turns into a little fella here. Look at this little guy. And then you just place him in here and do the same for another one. And this is a breeder, basically. So we have a breeder. We put 2 of those guys in there. And what we can do is we can click on here, put the food items in, and based on the food items, a certain amount, it will breed a little baby villager. So the incubator is another thing that we're probably going to need. And that's just going to raise that baby villager to adulthood. So let's go ahead and get some carrots, for example. Do I have a bunch of carrots? No, I don't have enough. Wheat. I don't think wheat works. Does it work? What's the breeder need? So we can take bread, 6 bread, potatoes, carrots, beetroots. Okay. How many spuds do I have? I have 30. So that's enough. So what we can do is put those in there. And I believe all it needs is 24 of them. Don't know if it has to be exact or anything. No, it doesn't. It probably just takes a little bit of time. And then after a certain period of time, a little baby one will pop out. I guess we just have to wait for that. As soon as I stopped recording, it happened. So, and there's our little baby villager. I'm assuming you place it. It is just like a normal baby villager, but we put it inside the incubator. And it is going to take some time and turn into an adult. And when it's done, it'll pop out in the output, I assume. Looks like it can hold up to 4 or more, maybe able to hold even more. So I was doing a little bit of testing and, well, let's just say the fletching table, which is what I was going to use, well, it doesn't work for some reason. The villager does not recognize it, but the villager is recognizing other things. So I don't know if maybe because the fletching table is being modified by some mod. I do know that the fletching table has a UI, like you can actually access it and make arrows in it. But I mean, I think that maybe it's maybe being used by silence. Maybe you can make custom arrows or something. I don't know. But either way, the fletching table becomes useless. And I want to be able to trade flint because we have tons of it. But, well, the cauldron guy later on lets you trade flint. So I decided, let's go ahead and use this guy. So what we're going to need to do is you need to get them to turn into their corresponding job, pick them up, and then we can pick up their cauldron. And this is how we're going to trade things with this guy. And I'm hoping it still levels up and everything. So you place it in there, and then you place the cauldron in there. You can't do it the other way around. And then now you can access all of their trades. So look at that. So you can cycle trades. Wait. That would be really powerful with Wait a minute. That is really powerful. Because we can use that on a different kind of villager with a lectern. Wait, what? Okay, this is going to be ridiculous if this works the way I'm thinking it will. Oh man, when I don't have all of the resources. Come on, So I got this guy changed to a librarian. Oh, this is going to be crazy if this works the way I'm thinking it does. If we can cycle the trades early on, we can get pretty much any enchant we want this way. Cycle trades. Maybe it doesn't work for this particular one. Because notice the trades aren't allowing me to be cycled. I see where it's going. Okay, so I'm going to turn you back into a leather worker. There we go. That seems to work. By the way, the cats are everywhere. We've literally just taken on so many cats. Okay, so I can place that. So maybe I guess you can place this beforehand. Huh. Because I wasn't able to place the fledging table in here, so maybe you can place the cauldron in and then place your villager and it'll automatically link to that. Interesting. So I need the one that definitely has leather here. And I don't think it changes too much. But yeah, leather, definitely leather right there. And I think that's going to be good. We can lock that in. Trade a little bit of leather until we can get to the flint, which I believe is the next level. There we go. And now we can start trading the flint, right? Perfect. We have tons of flint. So much flint. It's ridiculous. And yeah, we could set this up to auto trade as well. What does it unlock? Ooh, rabbit's hide. Just a bunch of leather stuff that I don't think I'm really going to need, but just kind of showing off this mod is kind of cool. So with all the villager stuff in line, our mob farm over here, I've kind of tamed it down a little bit by adding some light. That way only the back works. And I'm still gathering tons of mobs, of mob drops. It's just, there's so much. But I do, however, want to kind of change this over. We're going to turn this off and we're going to use another method for killing these mobs, at least temporarily, so that way we can get some pink slime. For that, we're going to need a mob slaughter factory. It's going to require a pitiful machine casing and just some swords. Pretty straightforward, and some axes. Of course, we got it's almost like a meat grinder. Pretty weird. But anyways, this right here is going to require a little bit of our plastic. I do have some plastic being stored, or latex being stored as this over here. It is actually actively storing the latex, but reminds me, we are out of logs. I might want to put some logs. Oh, or we were out of logs. Module, are you working? Maybe it's not working because of the update. Weird. Why is it not placing the items there? Well, since that method is not working, I'm going to go ahead and use this block placer. This one should work, and we should be able to place any of our logs in here, and that should work. Requires redstone, always on. There we go. So yeah, that's going to work much better. And get these back on track. For some reason, they had just stopped. But anyways, now that we have our mob slaughter factory, I am going to need some tanks. And some really good tanks is going to be just these regular basic fluid tanks. We're going to need 2 of them for right now. And then the mob slaughter factory. And we need some power. So a point is probably going to be a good thing to have as well. I do want to get these auto-crafted very soon, by the way. We do have the auto-crafting set up. I just got to get those set to auto-craft. And yeah, that'll be a great project for auto-crafting. Okay, so right now we're collecting our experience over here. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Place the slaughter factory for right now. We're also going to remove this, which hopefully that keeps its fluid, which it does. There we go. And then, yeah, these tanks, they don't actually hook, as you can see. I believe this one's completely full, right? Yeah, it is completely full. And then this right here is collecting a bunch of items. We're just going to get rid of those for right now. All I need is my tank. 1 tank right here and 1 tank right here. Let's give it power with a point. Select our network. There we go. And then we also need to make a range card, which we're going to do here in a minute. I have to make a dissolution chamber for that. So that's going to be kind of interesting. But let's go ahead and get this set up. One side is going to be for meat, which we can use the left side to push. And then on the right side is going to be heat slime. We're going to have it push to the right side. This right here, all of those items just need to go in our storage. Next time we set this up, by the way, we're going to have this all automated. The items will automatically go in our refined storage system. But that is almost set up. Now we got to get some range upgrades, because right now the range that this is sending is not very big. It's literally the block in front, and that's just not going to cut it. So let's go ahead and turn off our mob grinder for right now, so it's not killing anything. I don't care if they build up. I just don't want it killing anything at the moment, because it'll just fill up there and clog everything. Okay, so dissolution chamber. This is going to be used for just about everything as far as industrial foregoing goes, like all the higher tier machines. We are going to absolutely need this thing. And we're actually going to need 2 of them eventually. One is going to need to hold some pink slime and so on and so forth. But let's go ahead and place this down here, because I believe it requires this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to set this right here. And I'm going to set the latex tank, the fluid tank here. I believe that's the way it's going to work. And we can set that to pull. And there we go. You can see the latex is building up. And that's perfect. I want it to be pretty much full on this one. I'm going to need another point. Oh boy. So let's go ahead and set up the auto crafting for the point, by the way. Let's make this so that way it's JEI searchable. And we need to make sure everything that a point needs is in the crafting recipe for this. So for example, we need to make sure that it can make redstone blocks. We also need to make sure that it can make Eyes of Ender. And then we also need to make sure that it can make this. Now, unfortunately, the flux dust, we can't really set up an automation for that, but we can set it up for this for right now. We're going to have to manually make those. Throw that all in, and now we should be able to craft a point pretty quickly. Boom. That was a lot faster than going through it manually. Awesome. So now that this has some power, we can start crafting things. Those upgrades that I was talking about, let's take a look at industrial foregoing. The upgrades are these things right here. And I think I'm going to need a tier 3, or I think a 3 does the 9x9. And it's going to be a couple of redstone, some bone meal, and 2 pieces of glass. So bone meal, which is going to be 4 pieces. Glass. Oh boy, glass right there. And then we're also going to need redstone, 2 pieces of redstone. So if my brain works, 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. And we should be able to place those in. That's going to craft up using a tiny little bit of latex. The other stuff requires a bit more latex, but yeah, like I said, we're going to need eventually 2 dissolution chambers for this. There we go. And I don't know if this is big enough, but if not, it's not a huge deal, as all our mobs get pushed anyways. But I put the range upgrade. You can now see that it covers that area. And, well, it should start working now. And as you can see, it's slowly starting to kill the mobs off. It's not horribly fast. We could, however, bump it up in speed a little bit. What is this? Potion of healing. Oh, interesting. We can get our time in a bottle, which I should probably keep in my inventory. But yeah, it will go a bit faster if I use this, I believe. Yeah, look at that. Oh boy. And yeah, it's going to fill this up very quickly. This is the liquid meat. This is a way to feed yourself. If you had one of these running on a mob farm on its own, you would pretty much always have food. So that is a crazy thing. Industrial foregoing has the meat feeder, and I believe the backpack has a way of feeding it to you as well, like this infinity backpack, which is pretty insane. So meat feeder, there we go. Pretty simple to make. And yeah, you can just right click on here to drain this all, and yeah, it's going to fully saturate you. which is pretty nice. So in preparation for making some lasers, because that's kind of what I'm working towards, I now have tons of pink slime, which is perfect, exactly what I'm going to need. But another thing we're going to need is time, and luckily I have a bunch of it in a bottle. So one of the things that you can do is we're going to basically place 2 of these. I'm going to need 5 of these pitiful machine frames. Actually, it probably needs to go in the one with latex, right? I'm kind of have them backwards. This one's going to require the 2 iron. It's going to require a gear nether brick, which you just get from smelting nether, smelting netherrack. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of plastic and basically a pitiful machine frame. And that's going to take a little bit of time, right? Well, we can, of course, speed that up because it does take a little bit of time. But I'm going to need to do this 5 times. We basically need 5 of these because each one of the bases require an advanced machine. On this one requires a simple. So really, we only need 4. I guess, no, actually, we only need 1 advanced. Now that I look at it, we only need 1 advanced. But I'm going to go ahead and make a few more just for the sake of making this a little bit easier. But I guess right now, since I have all the pitifuls, I guess I might as well make the rest of those. Yeah, because the laser drills, the base goes in the center and we need 4 laser drills. So those are just going to require regular simple machine frames. Actually, that's not too bad. So perfect. Now that I have those, I still need to place a bucket of pink slime in here because we at least need 1. And that upgrade is going to be this recipe. It requires some gold, some netherite scrap. Luckily, we have tons of that. And then place a simple machine frame in there. Give it a little bit of time. Ooh, make sure their bucket of slime is in there. I just pulled it back out because it will use half of that bucket. And there we go. So we pretty much have everything we need. Wow, this is a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. So this laser drill, let's just say it's pretty powerful and it's going to net us some pretty powerful things in the process. We're going to need a bunch of pistons, it looks like. Yeah, we're going to need a few. Let's see, 10 in total? Well, no, 8. Because, yeah, we only need 8 of them. So that was actually perfect. The perfect amount. A few more gears. We're going to be using a lot of those later on anyway, so I might as well make those. And make sure we have enough for 4. And it looks like we do. So, laser drills themselves. And we're ready to go. What was it? It was needing laser drills. Oh, it needed some plastic. Which I'm still in the process of making at this point. Throw that in. And there we go. Perfect. We have everything for this laser drill. Now, I'm wanting to place it down here. Sort of in the floor. So my crafter, I think, needs to go a little bit higher than where it's currently at. Because I do want to place it sort of right here. And this would be... Well, maybe not, because it's kind of in the way, wouldn't it? I want to place it above the ground. So this setup right here should definitely work. However, I am going to need... Let's go ahead and place all of our stuff back in our crafter. Other than that pattern. Pattern goes in here. Okay, so I moved everything up, and we should have room. The laser base goes here in the center. I don't have a block covering that. I'm going to place just a single block so I can place this thing. There we go. I don't know if it even matters if it can see down to the ground. I really don't think it does. And then the laser drills themselves, they're kind of wonky. So placing them, they're probably not going to place in the right direction when you place them. So I do recommend using the refined storage wrench, because I know that this one in particular can rotate blocks, or I believe it can. Actually, it's not rotating these blocks at all. Let's see, wrench. Will the wrench from this work? Wrench mode. No. It's in focus mode, wrench mode. Weird that it's not moving those. Okay. Wrench. No, that doesn't work either. Is there a wrench from Industrial Foregoing? Oh wait, the wrench does work from the refined storage mod. It's just these have to be placed, I guess, in a certain way for it to be able to work on it. So if I place it like that, the wrench does work. There we go. It just rotates it around. Should see the particle effect starting to happen. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, that's actually working just fine. Huh. Interesting how that's working. Okay, so with all of that set, now you may think this isn't going to work right away. Well, it's because you do have to set the depth and everything. There are still some things you need to do, and then these all need points. So I'm going to see if I can make 4 points. Hopefully. Yes, I can. 4 points crafted up. Man, that was quick. And then get power set on every single one of these. And then we can start working on targeting the particular blocks that we're wanting. And there's several of them that you can only get this way. So this is definitely worth setting up, 100%. At least if you want to get all the resources. Now the good thing is I have it right up here on my refined storage system. So pulling stuff out. Oh wait, did I make a fluid laser base? I did make a fluid laser base. I am a complete dork. Okay, so there's there's 2 different types. I'm going to keep this because we'll need it later on, but I do have to remake a few things. Fluid laser base is not what I needed. I need the mining version. So industrial foregoing base. You have an ore laser base, which is the one that I want, and then the fluid laser. Both of them have a very similar recipe, though. One requires bucket, and one requires iron ore chunks. Oh, I'm such a dork. Now I got to make another advanced. Oh boy. So after getting another one made, now let's get this industrial and then base. Make sure we make the right one this time. Oh boy. Iron ore, laser ore base. Okay. So this, again, let's go ahead and grab a block. We're going to place it right in the center, just like that. Now it should be up and running, and it's already starting to work, but we do need to adjust the depth a little bit. I don't know if you remember from the my All the Mods 6 playthrough, but stellarite and stuff is really powerful. It allows you to make indestructible tools and things like that. Those things are really, really nice to have, and you can also do it on other things like armor and stuff like that. But to get stellarite and things of that nature, you do have to mine at a particular level. And that level is going to be below depth 15, I believe. Yeah, 15. So Y level 15 is a pretty good level to set this to. Or you can set it to 14. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 14. I think that's a good depth to mine at. And if you wanted to target particular blocks, you can just put some lenses in here. I'm going to let it run on default just to see what it kind of collects. And I guess we'll check back on it later. Now, I do know that we could probably use this on it. Does that boost this progress bar? So this progress bar is not really being affected by it. When I upgrade that, does it? Yes. So these are definitely helping boost that. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's use up some of that time. Oh boy. So this is also going to mine up like your normal stuff. It's going to mine up prosperity ore. It's going to mine up anything that would actually be in the world. It should start mining up. So things like iron. We're going to get a lot of like random stuff in here. But eventually I think what I'm going to do is be targeting specific things like stellarite and XP stuff. So that's going to be something interesting to kind of keep an eye out on. So with all of that done, man, we got a lot done today. I do want to thank the sponsor, of course, of today's video. And that is going to go on a new sign because I am completely out of oak. And that is going to go to Dion Grindelman. I think that's right. I think I said that right the first time. Anyways, we'll slap some white on there and it looks really good against this dark sign. Anyways, guys, if you want to become a Patreon yourself, of course, you can find that linked down in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you did, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. We are getting really close to 500,000 subscribers. It still blows my mind that we're even at this point. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.